Hi, I'm Rich Slayton, and this is Inside the Play. Today, we're looking at the CRL debut of Egor, the Mortar Master. And of course, that debut took place at the World Finals in King of the Hill with everything on the line. Tons of pressure, but as you probably know, the young man was more than ready to rise to the occasion. This first match is actually a really good one for him. The matchup goes his way in two directions. One, Thunder, not the greatest head-to-head player, a 42% win rate. Secondly, the Miner versus the Lava Hound deck. This specific matchup, about 55-45 his advantage. The Miner cycle should be able to get around faster than the Lava Hound. But, of course, as you see on the right-hand side, Thunder goes with the controversial opening move of Lava early. So we'll see how that one works out for him. I think you already know the details. Hunter goes down for Egor to play defense. Poison to get rid of those pups, but the poison doesn't get one of the pups. Luckily for Egor, there's a tiny hero bat that turns back towards his own tower, takes care of one pup, takes care of the miner. This could have been a whole lot worse. He still took nearly 1,000 damage in this opening exchange, well, a few hundred at least, but it could have been a whole lot more if not for that little bit of a hero play by that one bat. You saw the one glitch we had the entire time. Very happy that was the only one. Now look at Thunder's face. Thunder shakes his head, then nods because he found the BM he wanted, the good luck. That's my theory. At this point, I think he knows that he's in the advantage, right? Even though the matchup goes Egor's way, he's ahead on damage significantly and has enough tools to stop those miners that he feels pretty good. Now, this is interesting. Egor chooses to ignore the miner and take the damage. Why? Well, because he has so much going the opposite direction to distract at the bridge. He knows he can throw the miner to the back, get a ton of damage. Look at that. He does. You have the Inferno Dragon facing forward, and that miner in the back is just going to town over and over and over again. So in the end, he goes for the min-max choice and wins it. Gives 576, takes 448, and that's what you have to do a couple of times, and he does it at a right moment, and now suddenly this game is a whole lot closer. Poison in, miner in, some more damage. Now this is an exchange that looks like it's good for Thunder, but we'll talk about why it's not in just a moment. Let's go ahead and check that out. Boom! Beautiful miner pickup. Let's go back and zoom all the way in. It's a nice piece of work where the bandit's dashing around and Thunder gets the miner down just in time. But look at that elixir. He only has 3. He has to spend all 3 of it, and the miner goes to the one spot it can pick up that bandit dash. He had to make this play. You have to stop that dash and stop that damage, but he does it to lose all of his elixir at once, and he does survive, but check this out. Now Thunder is behind by 4 elixir, or better said, Egor's up by 4 elixir, and that 4 elixir is huge. Yes, Inferno Dragon's on the board, but easily, as you see, taken care of by the Hunter and the Ice Spirit. And now look at the opposite direction. 3, 7, 10, 12, 14 elixir coming down. Egor pressing the advantage, 12 to defend, and he still is up 1 elixir. So Egor, using that elixir advantage fully, up by 4, spends more than 3, and then he still has enough elixir to put this poison down and get the baby dragon off the board with the help of the Hunter and do a lot of damage and now take the damage lead. So even though it was a nice pickup by Thunder, you can see the repercussions, the long-term results. This game is all about the dominoes and how they hit each other over and over and over again. So here we go, one big mistake by Thunder. The miner goes to the back. Thunder plays the guards 1 tile too far to the outside. Doesn't get the pickup. So a little bit of damage here, and keep an eye. Think about that for a second. Keep that in your mind. Egor going to the back of the tower. He does some really smart work here in the closing moments of the game. So he chooses to ignore the damage on the left-hand side. He knows he's not worried about it. Instead, play the elixir game, more min-maxing by Egor. So now he loads up again at the bridge, miner to the back, and this time pretty clearly picked up. That's where Thunder knew he was going, throws the guards back there, doesn't play any games, doesn't try to get cheeky with it, just gets it, gets that miner. Now here's where he gets over-aggressive, right? You see the idea. He's done a bunch of damage on the left-hand side, it's down a ton. He can go with the Lava Hound up high and thinks he can get the win here, but he's not thinking about the cycle. That miner now already just 2 cards away with the Log and the Ice Spirit played, and you check this out, boom, bats come down, then the bandit comes down. He's all the way back around to a miner again, the fast cycle. And this time, look at that, miner going to the outside rather than to the back. He knew that he kind of cheated his way that direction and made Thunder think, I'm going to go to the back over and over again. Thunder goes for the defensive miner pickup, doesn't get it on that prediction, and that's just beautiful mind games by Egor. You can see, of course, the crowd's really pumped up, Team Liquid's pumped up, Eric Benamou super happy with his pickup of Egor. Justification for keeping the young man on the team the entire time, even though he didn't play during the regular season. And that's a great debut. At this point, Egor's done his job. Come out, go to King of the Hill, get one win, even things up. But you guys know, I know, he's not done yet. Up next, second for OGN Entus is Dandelion. Now, Dandelion is a tougher match for a number of reasons. First and foremost, Dandelion is a better head-to-head player than Thunder, at least throughout his CRL career, standing at a 56% win rate. And then secondly, check out the matchup when we get into this thing. This is a rough matchup. You can see Miner goes in for Dandelion and a little thumbs up from Egor. And at this point, we see the Miner, the Bats, Goblin Gang. We're thinking Mortar-Bait. We're excited for it. Everyone wants to see it from the best Mortar-Bait player on the planet, and boom. You can see when the Night Witch goes to the right-hand lane, Egor immediately plays Mortar. Now, you might think save the Mortar for defense for the Elixir Golem that he knew was probably coming at that moment, but instead he plays defense differently. Look at how he spreads out the Dark Goblin and the Rascals, so the poison that's coming down can't get them all, and this is critical. It keeps one bandit girl, or one Rascal girl alive. Let's zoom in tight. Why is she so important? Because she takes care of the Night Witch. She pops the Night Witch, gets the bats out with the help of the log, and now Fireball can go in and clean up the rest of that push. So what should have been a big, big advantage for Dandelion, you can see, look at that Mortar, still going to town. This ends up coming out massive, massive advantage for Egor, and it's all with playing that Mortar opposite lane immediately, and the Elixir's still pretty even. So he defended a push that should have done more damage, got a bunch of damage himself, and now Dandelion begins to make some mistakes, not keeping track of those Rascals, throws the Hunter right into them, and now here's what I think is the big, big change. Hindsight's 2020. I think you send the Elixir Golem opposite lane so that you kite the Mortar shots that way and make sure they stay off your tower the entire time. But he was trying to save that Mega Minion that he'd cycled. Unfortunately, look at this. He got down a little bit late, the Mega Minion in front of the Elixir Golem rather than behind. So this is easy. Rascal Girls just wipe out that Mega Minion in a couple of seconds. Bye-bye Mega Minion. And you can see Dandelion shift his posture for the first time. This is when he knew he'd messed up. Right? This is the first time he's starting to feel the pressure. The Elixir Golem goes into a Mortar. Mortar gets a shot. Dark Goblin and Log take care of business. And now Dandelion trying to get back in it. You see the idea. This was a cool idea, right? Throw the Miner, the Baby Dragon's on. But knowing that Baby Dragon's locked on tower, Egor throws the high Rascals. The girls take care of the Baby Dragon. And now he knows he has an Elixir advantage. Throws the Miner to the back. Girls take care of the Hunter. And that's it. That's tower down. That's game over at this point. Dandelion knows it. The whole room knows it. Egor knows it. And you can see Dandelion can't believe he just threw a game that they wanted this matchup. A lot of players play their comfort deck game number 2 when they're on the tower, whether it's the 1v1 or whether it's King of the Hill. And they called it right, and they got the matchup they wanted, and Egor just outplayed him. Dandelion made a couple mistakes, but more than anything, Egor, the best Mortar-Bait player on the planet, just got the outplay. And here you go. One last attempt by Dandelion to get back in it, and a cheeky Mortar opposite side of the river from Egor. And he's happy now. He's more than done his job. 2 up, 2 down. Egor in his CRL debut at the World Finals now has put himself 1 win away from the King of the Hill sweep and from clutching this game out for Liquid and sending them to the semifinals against SK Gaming. The crowd is so pumped to see him play at this level, but now it's time for the hardest matchup in terms of player that Egor has to go up against. TNT, the star head-to-head player from OGN Entus, with a 65% win rate in head-to-head play, almost 90% in King of the Hill, including many sweeps. So TNT, a very talented player. And now you see for the first time during a game, Egor not liking something. He shakes his head here. And maybe he doesn't like the matchup. Maybe he thinks it's against Giant Double Prince, potentially. And so you don't know exactly why he shook his head. Didn't get a chance to ask him, but that's the first real emotion we've seen him display during a game. Now, here's some smart play. You see the Miner going up high, and that's to set the bar right up at the river to make sure that the Dark Prince and the Baby Dragon can't go and take care of those Stab Goblins as they deal with the Giant. Now you see, instead of playing the Ice Wiz here, he plays the Prince high, uses the Tornado to pull all that stuff back, and doesn't go Ice Wiz. And because of that, he eats a ton of damage from this Baby Dragon. But there's a reason why. He needs to save that Ice Wiz for the for the Giant pushes. So even though he takes 665, he makes the smart play here, chooses that it's better to save that Ice Wiz and have it in cycle for the Giant that he sees coming right now, rather than play it and save a little bit of damage. Now, here's a smart play by TNT. He uses just the Skellies and Zap against that Minor Goblins push for a +2 positive trade. TNT playing really, really well right now, and Egor's the one on the defensive back foot at this stage in the game. But now you see there's the Ice Wiz that he wanted to save. He gets the Ice Wiz and the Knight down as the 1-2 combination for the Giant Night Witch play. Doesn't use the NATO to pull them back. Why? Because of that, for the King Tower activation. And this King Tower activation ends up being critical, very, very important. Now you see there the Stab Goblins played in a position that didn't do much for the Night Witch. You saw that blue dot. One tile over might have been good, but he didn't have Elixir to play them early enough, so they die quickly to the Dark Prince, and he takes another 662, just a half second behind, and the Night Witch making things even worse for Egor. This is where things get curious. TNT plays the Night Witch on the left-hand side, and you get the idea, right? He's at 10, wants to cycle it, hopefully pick up a Minor, but Egor just waits and plays the Minor afterwards. So now he gets 532 and doesn't have to spend any Elixir on that Night Witch. Why? Because the King Tower is activated. King Tower and Ice Wiz together. You see the King Tower going left, going right, going left, takes care of the Night Witch, and again, the Night high to set that bar, keep that Baby Dragon up high, and you can use the NATO now to pull the Minor to King Tower, use the Stab Goblins and the Ice Wiz to take care of the Giant. He saves 192 by pulling the Minor off the King Tower, and twice saves 211 by killing a Giant just before it gets to that Princess. So those are important plays. Let's go ahead and watch the rest of this. We'll come back later.
Might be able to sweep right now. Minor off the tower, first hit. And the wall comes down. The wall comes down. Egor does it. The Minor was one tile away. The law comes down just in time. And Egor sweeps in his CRL debut. Unbelievable, Andrew. Egor comes out 1, 2, 3. You make your debut at World Finals. That's one hell of a way to do it.
All right, let's look at those final 10 seconds one more time. Remember, there was the 211 saved twice from the Giants, the 192 earlier from pulling off the Minor. And then here, one more time, Minor comes in, one tile off. It needs 3.6 seconds to do enough damage to kill this Princess Tower, and he has 5. But played one tile off with the combination of this beautiful heads-up quick response log from Egor, pushes the Minor off, gets the win. That's why he's the Mortar Master, and we'll let him say it himself. Go ahead, young man, get your shine.
Mortar-Bait.
With that Princess Tower's final HP at 183, stopping 2 Giants, stopping 2 Minors. Any of those 4 could have finished that Princess Tower and sent us into sudden death overtime. Instead, Egor's the hero of the moment, goes on to beat Javi in a best of 3, and he and Team Liquid hoist the championship trophy, world champions of Clash Royale League. Please go ahead, like and subscribe to this video. I'll bring more of them very soon. Of course, you can see other editions of Inside the Play clickable here on your screen right now. Thanks for watching. I'm Rich Slayton, and I will see you next time back here on Inside the Play.